Introduction. They said it couldn't be done. They doubted a roster this young could survive the gauntlet of playoff warfare, let alone hoist the Larry O'Brien Trophy. Yet here we are, in the summer of 2025, celebrating the Oklahoma City Thunder as champions. At just 26.3 years old on average, this group rewrote history as the youngest title winners in nearly half a century. But behind the confetti lies a deeper story, one of smart decisions, heart-stopping performances, and looming challenges that could derail this ascent. Today, we dive into how the Thunder rose from underdogs to top dog, and what might championship breakthrough. When Mark Daignault's squad walked off the court in Denver on June 15, 2025, the headlines read, "Youngest champions in 49 years." What felt like a fairy tale ending was the culmination of a season that began with whispers of potential and ended with shouts of validation. Through 84 total wins, in the regular season and playoffs combined, OKC matched only the 1990s Bulls and the 2016 Warriors, two juggernauts whose legacies still loom large. But those franchises relied on established superstars. The Thunder leaned on promise and calculation. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the Finals MVP, was the spark. His steady hand in moments of chaos, the thunderous lunging drives, the silky mid-range pull-ups, the ice-cold free throws in the closing seconds, gave the team its backbone. Alongside him, Rookie of the Year Jalen Williams emerged from the shadows, erupting for 48 points in Game 5 and making his presence felt on both ends of the court. Surrounded by defensive specialists like Lou Dort and veterans such as Alex Caruso and Isaiah Hartenstein, the Thunder embodied a blend of youthful fearlessness and veteran savvy. But that run wasn't inevitable. In the second round, the Indiana Pacers nearly toppled them, led by Tyrese Halliburton's dazzling playmaking before his Achilles tear shifted the series. It took a third-quarter defensive clinic, headlined by Chad Holmgren's shot blocking and alley-oop swats, to reclaim control. From that point on, the Thunder didn't just win games, they dominated moments, and in the finals, they outdueled every opponent until the trophy slid through their fingers. Transition. But raw talent and timely plays are only part of the equation. To understand how Oklahoma City built this roster, we have to turn back 2 decades. Sam Presti's master plan. Long before Shai and Jalen ever laced up sneakers together, GM Sam Presti was laying the groundwork. His blueprint? Treat every asset, draft picks, trade exceptions, cap space, as a piece on a chessboard. In 2007, he traded Rashard Lewis to Orlando, not for an all-star, but for a $9 million trade exception and future picks. On its face, that move looked small. In reality, it was seismic. Those picks yielded young talents like Serge Ibaka, who later became court denial incarnate, and then Victor Oladipo, OKC's 2016 breakout star. When the franchise flipped Oladipo for Paul George in 2019, many groaned at the loss. Yet, in a single swing, Presti landed the haul that brought Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and a treasure trove of draft choices. 17 years after Lewis, the initial exception had rippled into the core of a championship team. Presti's vision wasn't just accumulation, it was sustainability. At every step, he balanced immediate upgrades with future flexibility. He chose length and athleticism, investing in Holmgren's freakish frame and Dort's lockdown instincts, while preserving enough draft capital to reload after inevitable departures. This long game paid off when the Thunder had to rebuild around youth in 2020. No panic trades, no star-chasing desperation, just a methodical reset anchored by Presti's foresight. Transition. Yet brilliance on paper faces tests on the defensive juggernaut. Offense wins headlines, but defense wins championships. And OKC boasted the NBA's most suffocating scheme. Led by Monty Williams as associate head coach and set in motion by Caruso's off-ball wizardry, the Thunder forced turnovers with surgical precision. They finished first in the league in points-off steals, turning opposition carelessness into breakneck transition threes. Lou Dort set the tone, shadowing the league's best scorers night after night, his fierce closeouts and quick pause forcing hesitation. When Dort baited a passing lane, Holmgren lurked behind the arc, ready to intercept or contest a shot. In the paint, Hartenstein and Chet formed a rotating wall, their combined length shutting down drives and challenging every paint touch. Opponents who thought they'd beat the big with power found themselves met by Holmgren's springy shot swats and Hartenstein's impenetrable drop coverage. What made it special wasn't just individual tools, but collective cohesion. The Thunder switched seamlessly on screens, rotated with an almost telepathic sense of spacing, and boxed out like possessed. Watching Indiana's Pascal Siakam dribble into a collapse of 5 defenders epitomized the effect. The ball was alive, but the net felt distant. This defensive identity created breathing room for the offense and kept confidence high even when shots weren't falling. Transition. But defense and offense both need stars to shine, and this team's luminosity came from 2 unexpected heroes. The other thing, defining performances. It wasn't always clear who would carry the Thunder through the trenches. Shai entered 2025 as a candidate for MVP, but finals greatness was unproven. Jalen Williams arrived filled with promise, yet rookies rarely dominate in May. Their breakout moments came when pressure peaked. In Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals against Phoenix, Shai erupted for 29 points and 12 assists, shouldering the load when everyone else wilted under the Suns' intensity. He danced around Ayton, bullied Bridges, and drilled a dagger 3 with 37 seconds left. Cameras caught the opposing bench's stunned silence. In that moment, Shai didn't just win a game, he announced his arrival among the elite. A week later, in Game 5 of the finals back home in Oklahoma City, the strategy pivoted. Indiana keyed on Shai's isolation prowess, hounding him full court and daring role players to step up. Jalen answered the call in jaw-dropping fashion. 48 points on 17 of 24 shooting, mixing pull-up mid-range bombs with bully ball drives that left Sixers, Knights, and Kings in his wake. He became the first rookie in finals history to post a 45-point game, and his calm in crunch time, draining a turnaround jumper with 12 seconds left, cemented his status. Those performances did more than fill the box score. They galvanized a franchise and its fans. Shai's all-around brilliance paired with Jalen's fearless scoring gave OKC the dual engine necessary to plow through adversity. Without either, doubts would linger. Together, they became unstoppable. Culture of depth and role players. Championship teams demand more than 2 heroes. OKC's depth chart read like a who's who of defensive specialists and high-energy reserves. Alex Caruso, the consummate glue guy, provided hustle plays, the loose ball dives, the redirection passes, the clutch corner threes. His reputation as an off-ball defender translated into endless praise and timely stops. Lou Dort, despite being just 26, had already built a shrine of highlight reels containing blocked jumpers and isolated shutdowns. When Dort guarded Luka or Durant in the regular season, opposing stars knew they'd have to earn every point. On nights Dort rested, Jeremy Grant and Ty Jerome slid into the rotation, offering spot three-point shooting and seasoned IQ that kept the offense humming. Even bench players became moments of magic. Isaiah Hartenstein's lob hunting at both ends energized crowds and broke opponents' wills. Tyrese Halliburton's midseason injury was a blow, but it opened minutes for Jalen Williams and Aaron Wiggins to prove they belonged. That next-man-up mentality forged resilience. When starters struggled or missed time, the drop-off was minimal, helping the Thunder maintain their relentless pace. This depth wasn't accidental. Sam Presti's blueprint included targeting versatile, switchable wings and bigs who could space the floor. The Thunder never punted on value. When a role player hit free agency, they banked cap space, waited for bargains, and pounced. This balance of stars, role players, and backups created a self-sustaining engine where every contributor felt seen and necessary. Transition. The second. Apron threat. Here's the wrinkle. The NBA's second luxury tax apron acts like a vice on spending, with Shai projected to command a supermax extension, potentially 35% of the cap, and Jalen Williams and Holmgren poised for max raises after all NBA nods. The Thunder could find 95% of their cap locked up by 3 players. That leaves precious little for role players and bench depth, essential pieces of their championship puzzle. Nobody disputes that Shai earned every dollar. His scoring title, MVP hardware, and Finals MVP made the case airtight. But the timing is brutal. With the Supermax window opening July 6th, the Thunder face a choice. Sign early and save cap space for complementary pieces, or wait a year and chase a larger payday, up to $413 million over 5 years. Waiting risks losing veteran depth and market timing. Signing early could saddle the team with luxury tax penalties that limit roster flexibility. This isn't hypothetical. The Boston Celtics, rebounding from injuries and rising salaries, felt the pinch last offseason when they lost key role players on the open market. Denver's Nuggets, forced to sacrifice depth to keep Nikola Jokic, stumbled in the second round. OKC's own bevy of draft picks, 11 in the next 6 years, offers theoretical insurance, but draft picks are far from guarantees. Hit rate hovers around 30–40% for lottery selections becoming quality starters. Transition. So, what maneuvers remain? Could trade rumors and extension gambits reshape the landscape?